Our area's most beautiful properties deserve the finest realtors. Meeks Realty Group. We focus on buying and selling residential and commercial properties throughout the tri-state area. Contact Meeks Realty Group online at meeks.us or call 304-440-1101.
The views and opinions expressed on this program do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of 580 WCHS, its employees, or WVRC Media. From the studios of WVRC Media, the country, the United States of America, the state, West Virginia, the city, Charleston. This is the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live. And your host.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
He's kind of a big deal.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
Dave Allen.
Hey folks, good Friday morning to you. Yes, indeed, we have made it to the end of your work week, hopefully for you. Welcome to the show. Biggly, Piggly, Wiggly Hotline 304-345-5858. Fruit Pharmacy text 304-935-5008. We do the show from the Par Mar Store studio. If there's not a Par Mar store near you now, there will be soon. First of all, folks, Par Mar, I want to say thank you to everybody who came out for all of the games at the Par Mar Shootout over at West Virginia State University Monday through Thursday. And also, as we get ready for the big game that you can't legally call Super Bowl this coming Sunday, stop by your participating Par Mar stores. They got a great deal going on for you today, tomorrow, and Super Sunday. Buy any pizza and the second pizza of equal or lesser value for only $5. Again, that's a participating Par Mar store. See them for all the details. If there's not a Par Mar store near you now, there will be soon. Dave Allen Show on 580 Live brought to you in part by Thornhill Auto Group as well, including Thornhill GM Superstore. Looking for a powerful, luxurious, and innovative truck? Come check out the 2024 Silverado 1500 Crew Cab, LTZ, and High Country 2. Find new roads to Thornhill GM Superstore. Click or come by thornhillgmsuperstore.com or on the Thornhill Motor Mile US 119 in Chapmanville. All right, coming up on the show this morning, it is Super Bowl weekend. And we are going to spend the entire show devoted to Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. No, actually, we're not. We are going to talk a little basketball, though, today. The West Virginia Grind basketball team is back for their second season. Stephanie Casey from the Grind is going to join us to talk about that. Also coming up, Jason Huffman from Americans for Prosperity will be stopping by. And as always, your calls and texts are welcome. Biggly, Piggly, Wiggly Hotline 304-345-5858. Fruit Pharmacy text 304-935-5008. Let's bring in our good friend Hannah Gardner from the Kanawha Charleston Humane Association with this week's Adopt Me Please Pet of the Week. Hannah, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine. Are you will you be watching the Super Bowl on Sunday?
Probably a little bit, and then a little bit not.
A little bit not. Are you one of those people that just wants to see the commercials or the halftime show, or do you even care one way or the other?
I'm just more so there for the family gathering.
Okay. All right. The food aspect is what got Hannah in. Is that what you're saying?
Yep.
All right.
Exactly.
All right. So what's your favorite when it comes to the Super Bowl party? What's your favorite go-to dish?
Buffalo chicken dip.
Yeah, I think if you did a nationwide poll, and it sounds like something that maybe the guys on Hotline would do, what is your favorite Super Bowl thing? It probably would be buffalo chicken dip. That's probably what everybody would say. Let's get to why you're here, and we can always talk about buffalo chicken dip, and I'm not opposed to that. But let's talk about our Adopt Me Please Pet of the Week. His name is Ant-Man. There's always story posted, or the picture, I should say, posted. A little story as well posted to Dave Allen Radio on Facebook and at Dave A70, the Dave Allen Show on Twitter, or the artist formerly known as Twitter, now known as X. Tell us about Ant-Man, Hannah.
All right. So Ant-Man, he is a male. He is a puppy. He is around, I believe, 3 teeter-totting on 4-ish months old. So he is a puppy, and he is microchipped, and he is vaccinated. So he is definitely looking for his forever home. He is a puppy, so we don't know too much about his background. However, we do know that he does prefer playful dogs. He loves playing with other dogs. He's a social butterfly. He definitely loves people as well. He's got a lot of energy. So someone or a couple or a family who is ready to take on a puppy who wants to play, has a lot of energy, Maybe they're looking for a puppy that they want to start taking outside a lot or something, maybe on hikes or traveling or something. I feel like Ant-Man would be a good one for that. But he is kid-friendly from what we have seen and what we have witnessed. But, of course, with any dog, any puppy, we always advise caution. But he is looking for his forever home, and we are excited for him. I think he's somewhere like maybe 10, 15 pounds or something, but he is a good dog. He just needs a good home.
Well, he's a beautiful dog. Any idea what kind of dog he is?
No, gosh, he looks like he's got some specific kind of breeds in him. With most of the puppies that we have currently, a lot of them look like they have like some form of terrier, whether it's like a Staffordshire Terrier or a Pit Bull Terrier or something like that. But they definitely look like they have some form of that. However, this little man looks like he's got a bunch of other things. So I couldn't tell you, honestly.
How big a dog approximately do you think he'll be? I mean, I know it's kind of hard to tell. He's 4 months old right now, but is he going to be like a medium? Would you consider what he's going to be in the end game like a medium-sized, larger dog? What do you think?
Yeah, I think that he isn't going to be like large. I would say more of a medium. Now, everybody's small, medium, and large is different. I've learned that over the course of years
it's
from
true.
working at the shelter.
It depends on whether you live in an apartment or a 20-room house as to how big the dog is, I guess, right?
Right. But I think Ant-Man would be no more than 60 pounds, I wouldn't say.
Mm-hmm.
But even if he reaches that, it's hard to say with not knowing what he is. He's
right.
Definitely a cute man, and he's got a little bit of like scruffy like hair on his face.
Mm-hmm.
So
he's got a beard. Is that what you're saying?
Huh?
He has a beard.
Yeah. He's got like a beard, but it's like wiry hair. Like
okay. Oddly enough, my grandmother had the same thing, but nonetheless, Ant-Man is the dog's name. So, where does the name Ant-Man come from? Any idea?
Honestly, I have no idea. I know that they, in our admissions department, they have lists that they take from like the employees around the shelter or like friends and family, or if you ever want to bring in a list of some name ideas or something, as long as their name is like appropriate or anything. But they will definitely take them in, and we love having name ideas and stuff. So if you have it, you definitely bring them by. Well,
and I think that would maybe something that we could tie the kids in with as well, because eventually, I mean, not every dog can be named Rex. I mean, you gotta like kind of shake it up a little bit from time. Maybe it's something when you have your kids groups up there, you could ask them to come up with names for. And again, with pets, it's kind of like most people will take a look at them and say, okay, this is, he or she looks like this or whatever. That's why we had my wife and I had a cat for years that was jet black, so her name was Midnight. But that may be something What do we got to do to get a pet up there named Coop, who's producing the show today? What do we have to do for that?
I will tell them, and then when they name the next dog that comes in that's Coop, I will send you a picture of it, and I'll let you show it. All
right, sounds good. I want to ask you a couple quick questions before we let you go. And, of course, Ant-Man came in as a stray, and we know all the time if you follow your social media that you'll matter of fact, you normally do a little collage of, like, today's strays and so on and so forth. Mm-hmm. And people I've seen on your social media will comment on that, and they'll say, well, I'd like to adopt a particular pet, which is a good thing, don't get me wrong, but what is the procedure for the strays? How long do you hold them and before they become available for adoption? And the second part of that question, I'm going to make you work today. The second part of that question is, how does one go about claiming an animal that may belong to them? Let's say I live in South Charleston and my dog or cat gets out, and I think that is mine that's being posted on there. How would I go about, other than just a phone call, what do I need to do to say that, hey, that's mine? Or the first part of the question is if I want to adopt one, what's the hold period on strays?
Yes. So strays, whenever they come in, they legally, under West Virginia code laws, they have to go on a stray hold for 5 days. Now, that is 5 full 24-hour days. That's not just like work days. So it's technically, it doesn't include the first day that they come in, because they could come in the middle of the day or the beginning of the day. So it doesn't include the first day or that very last day. So technically, if you really think about it, it's about like a full week before they're available. So if you want to reclaim an animal, then all you'll need to do is you can tell us, you can look on our website. However, I always recommend, if you have a missing dog and you're just going to wait it out and try to post about it or anything, that is A-okay. However, I recommend coming up to the shelter very first thing, and maybe keeping an eye out for the whole time that you're looking for your dog. Like, check on our website. And then whenever you find it, if we do have it, you can bring up some like evidence that it is yours, some proof, whether it's vet records, very clear pictures that we can see, like any spots or marks that is obvious that it's your dog, any kind of like backstory records, a video, just anything that shows that is proof of yours.
Right.
And then we need your well, of course.
Well, and then you could also start by, as best you can, trying to get your pet microchipped as well.
Yes. And also, every dog that comes in, even when it's a stray, if it's not already microchipped, we microchip it.
Okay,
so,
for future use, in the case it happens again.
So if your dog would happen to get loose again and it comes back to the shelter, we know that it's already registered to you, and we can just call you and say, hey, we have your dog again. He's back in jail. Come get him.
He's back in jail again. He's a repeat offender. Got a text here waiting for you, Hannah. Says, which dog or cat have been at the shelter the longest? Now, you may not know that off the top of your head, but are there any that kind of stick out that have been there the longest?
I know that there is one dog that I can think of off the top of my head, and her name is Inez. She should still be there. I don't think she's gotten adopted yet or anything. However, she is a very, very, very sweet girl. She's a black and white dog. If you're on our website, you can just look up Inez. It's I-N-E-Z. I know she is one of them. We have quite a handful that are long-term residents currently. So if you go on our website, adoptcharleston.com, and you go to our Meet the Dog section, if you look at the filters, you can filter it from like who's been there the longest day and who's been there the shortest day. Okay. And whoever comes up first. I think Lola, Zoe, and Inez are going to be the top ones. Okay,
well, that's very good. I didn't know that you had that feature on there. That's very good. A couple quick things before we let you go. Valentine's Day is coming up. Happy Valentine's Day, by the way. Tell me about this Love is Blind thing that you folks have been doing for Valentine's Day.
So we have Love is Blind. Kind of, it's not necessarily like an event where you can come in and do anything. It is just more so where we are posting on our social media, blacking out the dog, and then telling you about the dog without saying like the dog's name or anything like that. So we kind of give you like a Love is Blind feature without being able to know who the dog is. We tell you all about the dog so you don't have like that first look judgment. So then you kind of know all about the dog, and if you are interested in the dog, then you can come up, or you can just call us and ask us, which one it is that we're talking about, or we can meet, like if you want to come straight up to the shelter, we can do like a meet and greet with you and the dog, and you get to kind of just learn who the dog is, see who the dog is, and maybe you want to foster it and take it home for the weekend. It's kind of more so just to get a lot of the dogs that maybe aren't getting it as much attention as we would like them to, a chance at finding a home as well, or even just a foster.
Right. And speaking of Valentine's Day, you've been doing a thing, and this will be the last thing we'll cover before we let you go. You've been doing a thing where you can make a donation to the shelter and get a Valentine from a shelter pet.
Yes. So we actually have Valentine's Day cards that we are sending out, and we have like a certain dog's picture in it with a little Valentine quote from them. So it's like you're getting a Valentine's Day card from one of our shelter pets. So definitely, it's just a small little donation. So if you want that little cute card from a shelter pet, then definitely check out our social media and our website and do it. It is going to be really, really cute, and we have already sent a good handful of them out.
All right. And again, more information about that on their social media and also on their website. Hannah, as always, I appreciate you joining us. We'll talk again soon. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Hannah Gardner again from the Kanawha Charleston Humane Association. Again, the pet we're trying to get adopted, Ant-Man. He is almost 4 months old, came in as a stray. Hannah doesn't seem to think that he's going to be a really big dog, probably a medium-sized dog. He's been at the shelter, as I said, taken in as a stray since October. Not fixed yet, but would be a great pet for kids. He seems to love kids, and he also seems to do pretty well. There's always exceptions to that, but always seems to be doing pretty well with other dogs. So would make a great family pet. Loves other dogs. Seems to love kids. Still learning on the leash, as Hannah told us, but that'll take some time. Again, he's only 4 months old. So if you're interested in Ant-Man, the Ant-Man's picture is posted on my social media. It's Dave Allen Radio, and also you can go over to the X page, formerly known as Twitter, and that is the Dave Allen Show, or at Dave A70. Go and check out the picture of Ant-Man. Let's get Ant-Man adopted from the Kanawha Charleston Humane Association. Hannah, as always, again, thank you so much. It is 9:22. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you in part by General Hardware and Lumber of Winfield. Come check out their new contractor showroom, lumber yard, and more. They deliver service and quality right to your door. Don't buy until you get a quote that is from General Hardware and Lumber of Winfield. Bigley, Piggly, Wiggly hotline 304-345-5858. Fruit Pharmacy text 304-935-5008. Let's talk a little basketball. The West Virginia Grind is back for season number 2. Stephanie Casey from the Grind is here. We'll talk to her right after this on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Are you a physical therapy assistant and looking for an opportunity in orthopedics, wellness, and athletic care? If so, Generations Physical Therapy is offering flexible work hours and an upbeat atmosphere. With 7 convenient locations, Generations may have a job designed for you. Visit generationspt.com.
Are you looking for a powerful, luxurious, and innovative truck? Hey, it's Sydney, inviting you to find new roads with Thornhill and check out the new 2024 Chevrolet Silverado 1500 Crew Cab LTZ and High Country at Thornhill GM Superstore on the Thornhill Motor Mile. Right now, you can get 1.9% APR for well-qualified buyers or $5,000 total value when you trade in an eligible vehicle. It's an opportunity to save big on the new Chevy truck that'll haul the winter blues away. Find new roads to Thornhill GM Superstore. Click or come by at thornhillgmsuperstore.com or on the road to total savings. US 119 Chapmanville. All offers through GM Financial. See Thornhill for all details.
Thrive with 5 at the best community bank in the Kanawha Valley, Poca Valley Bank. Poca Valley Bank is now offering a certificate of deposit special, 10-month APY, annual percentage yield 5%. Take advantage of this great rate to grow your savings. For more information, stop by a Poca Valley Bank location today or call 844-782-2651. Poca Valley Bank, where relationships matter. Certain terms and conditions apply. Rates based on minimum annual percentage yield. Subject to change without notice. Minimum deposit required of $10,000 of new money not currently on deposit with Poca Valley Bank to receive APY. Member FDIC.
Unsure you're ready for retirement? That's understandable. After all, you only retire once. Make the smart choice and call 4th Avenue Financial. If it deals with retirement planning, you can be confident they have the experience you need. Retire right with 4th Avenue Financial. Go to 4thavenuefinancial.com or call 304-746-7977.
925 Bigley, Piggly, Wiggly hotline 304-345-5858. Fruit Pharmacy text 304-935-5008. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you part by Meeks Realty Group. Discover the unrivaled expertise of Meeks, your ultimate partners in all things real estate. Whether it's your dream home or that ideal commercial space you're looking for, Meeks has you covered. Contact Rich the Realtor 304-932-7488. Let Rich and the team guide you on your real estate journey. Take a look at all their listings at meeks.us. The boss, Dale Cooper, is our producer today. The West Virginia Grind basketball team back for a second season. They play their games, of course, at West Virginia State, a place I've been really familiar with this week because I've been there all week with the Parmar shootout. Stephanie Casey from the Grind is with us, as well as the coach, Wayne Casey. Stephanie, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
And Coach, thank you for being here as well.
Good morning.
All right. So, Stephanie, let's start with you. You're kind of an old hand at this. You've done this several times on the show before. We're excited about Season 2.
I'm really excited about Season 2. Season 1 came and gone. I thought we had a really, really good season. We actually made it to the first round of the playoffs. So that's always a goal and something that we achieve for the first year. Had some great support from some local guys here and great support from the TBL, the Basketball League, which is the league that we play in. So we've got some great recognition for our team last year, as well as some recognition for our venue in West Virginia State University. Beautiful facility and our production team. So great season.
It's an amazing facility, and I mean, hats off to Coach Poor and those folks over there. And that, I mean, again, I spent 4 days over there. And you just couldn't ask for a better facility to play basketball in. I mean, the Coliseum and Convention Center is awesome, but this is awesome in a different kind of way.
Absolutely.
I mean, it really is. Coach, let me talk to you a little bit. First time you've been on the show, Coach Wayne Casey. Talk about your background and how you got involved in all this.
I started in 2013 with the IBL and the PBL, and then moving forward, I've been coaching for about 10, 15 years. Mm-hmm. So now I got the opportunity to work with the West Virginia Grind, and I'm really excited about it.
It's going to be a great season from what you told me. Stephanie actually said to me off the air, you said, we're going to be really good this year. And every coach says that coming in, and every PR person or whatever says that coming in. But you really mean it, Coach.
I'll tell you this. I'll say this. On paper right now, I think we'll be really good. Mm-hmm. But paper's just nothing.
Paper.
It's just paper. It's just paper.
That's why they play the games.
That's just why we play the games.
Give us some of the important dates that people need to know about. Your opening day, your training camp, things of that nature.
Training camp's actually next week, so we're kicking that off on Friday for a couple of days, and we'll have that roster submitted to the TBL by February 21st. So that will be the grand boom. There's the West Virginia Grind for the upcoming season. Our first home game is March the 8th. We're going to have 10 home games played at West Virginia State University. We've got 12 on the road this year. So we'll be traveling again. A couple of different teams in the conference that we're playing this year. We'll be traveling to Cincinnati and Louisville, back up to Indiana, where we played a few games. But Frederick, Maryland has a new team this year, and we'll be playing them. And in Raleigh, North Carolina, we'll be playing there. And the TBL this year, they separated off into another league to encompass more Canadian teams. We actually go to Canada for a 2-game series, so we'll be going up there for a week, mid-April.
What part of Canada are you going to?
We're going to be going to Windsor and London, Canada, for our teams, but they've got them all throughout Canada.
I was going to ask about when you think Canada, people think hockey and they think baseball to a certain extent, and football, of course. So basketball is pretty big in Canada as well.
Really, really big.
I know there's a lot of Canadian players that have played in the NBA.
Really big. And if you know, the Canadian national team is really, really good.
Okay.
So basketball is getting really big in Canada.
Yeah, indeed it is. Again, we're talking with Coach Wayne Casey and also our good friend Stephanie Casey from the West Virginia Grind. And training camp begins, as you said, next week, and then tip-off is, when's the first game begin, first home game?
March 8th.
March 8th. Explain, and you did this a little bit, but explain the league again to us and what this league is, and what level of basketball we're talking about. When folks go out to a Grind game, and I know you don't want to get into specific players, I don't mean that, but what are they primarily looking at as far as the players go?
Pro basketball. You're looking at a level of pro basketball as you would be looking at AAA, AA baseball.
Okay.
Same aspect.
Mm-hmm. And you've got some players that have what's the average age of a player in your league?
I'll let the GM go with that.
For anywhere from 18 to mid-30s.
Okay.
This is the West Virginia Grind is a team in the TBL, the basketball league, and it's a showcase league. Mm-hmm. The objective of this league is to get these guys their great film, and great stats so that they are a stepping stone to either go overseas, in the G League, in the NBA. So the TBL has some players that actually just jumped and went to the NBA. Last year, 4 of our guys went overseas. So it is really an opportunity for them to build their resume. Again, professional, so you're paid for it, but you're also building that resume. In the meantime, half of the objective for this league is to do the community service. While you are here in Charleston playing for the West Virginia Grind in the state of West Virginia, you're invested in the community, doing things for kids, doing things for other people, and really putting some programs together to be impactful.
And I want to talk about the buy-in from the community and with the kids, too, because, again, if anything like this is going to be successful, whether it's this, whether it's baseball, whatever, in a smaller area, which Charleston is, you got to have a buy-in from the community, and you got to get these kids involved. And I know last year over at the Parmar Shootout, I was talking to you over there last year, and when people saw some of the people with the Grind gear and on these little kids take a look at that, they're kind of in awe. Like,
they wanted to know.
And they want to know all about it. So you got to get those kids involved.
For sure. We're able to partner with the after-school care programs. Some of my players went last year and they're signing shoes and shirts. So apologize to the parents that came home with kid shirts that had my players' names on it, but they were excited about that.
Well, that's part of it. That's part of it. Again, we're talking with the folks from the West Virginia Grind. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you part by Brightway Insurance, the Mays agency of Tays Valley. Brightway offers up to $2 million in life life insurance from all the top carriers in about 10 minutes with a 95% approval rate and no medical exam. See them for all details. Start a quote today at brightwaymaze.com. So where are we at this point on the roster? I know we can't talk about specific players or anything, but where are we in the calendar of things as far as the rosters go?
Training camp starts next Friday, and it'll be it looks like it'll be 25 people that we'll pick from, and we'll go down to somewhere between 10 and 12.
Okay. Now, can people still try out, or do you just say is it by invitation only, or how does that work?
Yes, they can still try out.
Okay.
On Friday, starts at 4 o'clock.
Okay.
The gym will be TBA for right now.
Okay.
So we'll let that out soon next week.
Okay. All right. And you guys do a great job on your websites and social media and things of that nature. So if you don't follow them on social media, make sure that you do, because you guys, and I share as much as I can on my social media as well. I had a question here about the tickets. Somebody wanted to know how much are tickets.
So tickets for the adults are going to be $10 again this year, and the any student, no matter if you're in kindergarten or through college, they'll be half off.
Okay. And I would imagine, too, that you probably have a lot of moms, dads, grandparents, and coaches that like to bring the kids out as a group. You know, like we used to call it when I was growing up the buddy league teams. I'm not really sure what they call it now, but you like to bring those teams out and get people involved at an early age.
Absolutely. And we will be giving some tickets out in the community here in the upcoming days. Once we get our guys here in the area, they'll be running around and doing that. And last year we had some sponsors that also paid money to give free tickets to kids. So we're looking forward to that. More sponsors to do that as well.
Yeah, that was going to be my next thing, was to talk about sponsorship, because again, I talked about the buy-in from the community, but you got to have the dollars as well. If somebody's listening to us right now, a business owner or manager of any kind, and they want to get involved with the grind, tell us about the sponsorship.
So we have a couple of different packages. We ran some summer camps last year. Coach did with a couple of players, so we were able to do that for some after-school kids. And then we did some third base with the Department of Education and worked in the schools during the season last year as well. There's all different types of sponsorships where we could provide tickets to those who can't afford it. Uniform sponsorships, halftime sponsorships. We're doing something a little bit different this year. So there's really a lot of opportunity on our socials, on our commercials. At West Virginia State, they have a beautiful scoreboard. Sure. And on the board, you can have a commercial there. We're actually streamed on TBL Live TV, which is broadcasted to over 74 different countries. And then, of course, all throughout the United States and Canada, we could actually put those commercials on there as well. So there's really nice opportunity for that advertisement.
All right, let's kind of recap here before we let you go. Give us the important dates. We got training camp, which starts next week, and opening day again is when? For all
March 8th. March 8th is for the home game. That is our opening day.
And who do we play in that opening game?
Lebanon Leprechauns.
I love some of the names. I love some. I mean, that's part of the appeal when it comes to even like with some of the baseball teams. That's some of the. What are some of the nicknames? Some of the other teams.
So Frederick, Maryland is a new team in the league this year, and they're called the Flying Cows.
The Flying Cows, Coop. Did you get that? We got the Flying Cows. Okay. Well, who else we got?
Let's see.
We got the Pontiac Pharaohs this year. They'll be they're in Michigan, so we'll be playing them. We've got the Derby City Distillers.
Raleigh Firebirds.
We've got Raleigh Firebirds for sure. And then we have we play Kokomo Bobcats. We'll be playing them again. There's a team in Cincinnati. And then we said
Warriors,
the Lebanon Leprechauns, of course.
Okay.
The Warriors.
All right.
So Flying Cows, I think, wins.
I think Flying Cows.
Yeah, by far.
I want to see their gear. I want to see their. Do you sell gear? Can you buy West Virginia Grind merchandise?
We do. We'll have some shirts and some jerseys available at our first game for certain, and then we're going to start our online store here shortly. So you'll find that on our socials and on our websites. We'll make sure we get that up.
All right.
Follow us at WV Grind.
All right. And again, I kind of talked over you there. Give us that website again.
Our socials are at WV Grind.
Okay.
You can find us on Instagram and on Facebook, and you'll have all of our links there.
All right. Well, it's going to be an exciting season. I want to have you on a couple times. Maybe bring some players down to the studio. You know, my studio is your studio, so anytime you want to come down, you're more than welcome to come down. I'd love to have you on. All right. All right, folks, from the West Virginia Grind, Stephanie and Coach Wayne Casey, I appreciate you being here. But Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you part by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Bigley, Piggly, Wiggly hotline 304-345-5858. Fruit Pharmacy text 304-935-5008. We're going to take a break. Jason Huffman from Americans for Prosperity coming up next on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Brought to you by the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses care for your family.
If there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon. You hear us say that a lot, but it's true. Wherever you may go, chances are you'll find a Par-Mar store there, offering everything you need to get you in and then back on the road as soon as possible. From gas to groceries and snacks and items for your house, we have it at Par-Mar stores. Download the app and sign up for the Par-Mar Rewards Card, too. West Virginia, Kentucky, Ohio, Maryland, Pennsylvania, and Virginia. If there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon.
Imagine, if you will, a wonderland of wheels. An entire convention center filled with things you love to drive. It's the West Virginia Auto Show at the Charleston Convention Center, February 9th through the 11th. Come see new cars, new trucks, SUVs, luxury vehicles, exotics. And this year, the auto show also has boats, RVs, and motorcycles. It's a wonderland of wheels. Everything is all in one place and all in a non-selling environment. The West Virginia Auto Show. Fun for the whole family. Tickets online at westvirginiaautoshow.com.
Let's talk about your business phone system. It's old and needs updated, but you probably think, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. There are many benefits to a new phone system from Comax Business Systems. The sound is much clearer. Everyone in your office can have a dedicated line that will remote call forward from their cell phones, and your voicemail will actually work. Comax's digital phone systems are competitively priced and efficient. Call Comax Business Systems for a free quote today. Comax Business Systems. We've kept West Virginia's business data safe, secure, and efficient for 25 years.
22 minutes away from 10. Dale Cooper is our producer today. Bigly, Piggly, Wiggly, hotline 304-345-5858. Ruth Pharmacy text 304-935-5008. The Dave Allen Show 580 Live is brought to you in part by Live Healthy West Virginia, presented by WVU Medicine. Live Healthy West Virginia tackles pressing health issues like heart disease, Alzheimer's, RSV, diabetes, and more. It's a podcast that offers insights into medical breakthroughs and preventative care, featuring WVU Medicine's expert physicians aimed at fostering healthier lifestyles and beyond in the state. It's a valuable resource for all. Discover the latest episodes at WVMetronews.com. Under the podcast menu, start your journey towards better health today. Jason Huffman from Americans for Prosperity is here. Jason, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Dave. Thanks for having me.
Did you get all excited listening to talk about the West Virginia grind? You ready to go play a little basketball?
You know, my eye-hand coordination isn't that great. I played defensive line when I played ball. So, yeah.
I got you. Now, I can run, or at least I used to. I can run and dribble. Just don't ask me to do at the same time.
Chew bubble gum and walk.
Yeah, that's not, I can't multitask very well. Let's talk about the session first. How's the session been so far?
You know, it's interesting, and I keep telling folks this. This is only the second instance in which Republican majorities have been in a lame duck session. Now, a lame duck session was when the governor's term limited on the way out. So the first time that happened back in 2016, it was Earl Ray Tomlin leaving office, and Republicans helped send him into retirement by overriding a bunch of vetoes on really important policy like right to work and the repeal of prevailing wage. Excellent session. This session is a little bit different because you have obviously Jim Justice, who's term limited, leaving office and running for United States Senate. And it's just a little bit different of an environment because instead of having, 54 or so Republicans in the House, you've got 88. And likewise, more Republicans in the Senate. And so it's been interesting to see them try to navigate this session. A little bit quieter of a session than perhaps we're used to, probably because we're in an election.
Got a little loud yesterday, though.
Yeah, you'll have a certain amount of that on day 30.
But overall, it's been a quiet session. You guys have already announced that you are endorsing Attorney General Patrick Morrisey for governor. First of all, let me ask you: did you happen to listen to the debate earlier this week that Hoppy did from Glade Springs?
Surely.
And your takeaway from that?
Yes, certainly. We were tuned in, and I think Patrick Morrisey's pitch is pretty simple. Do you want to be the most competitive state when it comes to the policies on the books? When it comes to freedom, opportunity, and prosperity. That's his pitch. If you want to be the best, if you want to compete in a meaningful way with the other states and strive for greatness in policy, that's his pitch to West Virginians. And I think it's a strong pitch. He's also singled himself out as the guy who's got the guts and experience to go after those kind of policies and win. And so I think it's an extremely strong pitch to the people of West Virginia.
I mean, I think you would more than likely agree, with all due respect to Steve Williams, the fine mayor of the city of Huntington, that one of those four people that was on the stage at Glade Springs is going to be the next governor of the state of West Virginia. I mean, that's certainly where I am on that, regardless of what happens. But I've noticed Mr. Morrisey says a lot. I'm not taking issue with him. It's just a fact. He says a lot. He kind of points to himself as being the only true conservative on stage, or the most conservative. I mean, the other three are pretty conservative as well, wouldn't you think?
In terms of folks trying to out-conservative one another, that's the gamesmanship of a Republican primary.
It is.
But to some extent, I think when you talk about the impact that some of these individuals have had, Patrick Morrissey, again, Waters of the United States rule, where we were trying to be overregulated by the EPA, West Virginia v. EPA at the United States Supreme Court. The things that he has accomplished as Attorney General have not had just a significant impact here, but all across the country. Those are some rulings that, frankly, are some of the biggest strikes against the administrative state in our lifetimes. So I think he's got pretty solid credentials in terms of the transformational change he's made.
Jason Huffman from Americans for Prosperity is here. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Bridge Valley. If you're interested in improving your company's IT workforce, and who isn't, you better know that Bridge Valley offers custom-tailored IT training to bridge the skills gap. Bridge Valley, you can train for little or no cost with a 50-50 salary match. Bridge Valley can also supply skilled graduates and apprenticeships for your company. Visit bridgevalley.edu/apprenticeships for more information. All right, Jason, you're here to announce a couple of more endorsements for the upcoming primary election, so I will let you take it from there, sir.
Well, we've endorsed a couple of folks for House of Delegates. And, Dave, sometimes you just get candidates who are newcomers to politics, and they're exciting because their resumes are so distinguished and they already have such an outsized role when it comes to serving the people of West Virginia. And so Tristan Levitt in House District 53, Tristan comes to this with really kind of unrivaled knowledge when it comes to the processes of protecting federal whistleblowers. He's got a decade of experience investigating waste, fraud, and abuse and corruption at the federal level. And now he's been tapped to serve as the president of Empower Oversight, which is a nonprofit that represents federal whistleblowers and documents and reports on government corruption. Just a stellar candidate, somebody that, as an attorney, has distinguished himself. And I think that he'll make just a fantastic addition to the House of Delegates. The other gentleman, extremely well known in Kanawha County, Mark Carter, running for House District 57. Mark is a partner at the Dinsmore Law Firm. Really, he's distinguished himself as one of the most prominent labor lawyers in the United States. He's advised and represented employers all throughout the country, collective bargaining, arbitration, federal litigation involving labor unions, and really serving employers in employment litigation. He's testified before the U.S. House of Representatives, the Senate, because his expertise was wanted up there. And really, he was appointed by both President Trump and President Bush to serve on the Federal Services Impasses Panel, which essentially handles disputes between federal employees, the federal government, and labor unions. So just a wealth of experience. The guy has been a contributor to policy throughout his time in West Virginia, and I think that he will be a significant actor when it comes to being in the House of Delegates, just a leader.
Again, we're talking with Jason Huffman from Americans for Prosperity, announcing that they are endorsing Tristan Levitt in the Republican primary District 53 and Mark Carter in District 57. Editor's note, Tristan Levitt has been on the show a few times in the past. Mark Carter is going to be on the show this coming Thursday, I think it is. So we'll look forward to actually hearing from him. Can we expect more endorsements from your group in the future?
Yeah, we're certainly looking all the way across the electoral map. We just understand that in order to continue to drive transformational policy in the state, we have got to stand up and stand behind policy champions that want to get into the arena and fight and win for policies that we know are proven to help people thrive. And so we're going to continue to add races. We're going to continue to look at particularly matchups and primaries throughout the state, and also some general races. So I'd expect to see more from us.
And how exactly does that process work when you choose to endorse? Obviously, you have a pulse on who the players are, and even if they're not involved in politics as of yet, you guys kind of have a wide net with a radar out there, and you kind of keeping an eye on people that are maybe coming up in the game or whatever. What's the process like when you decide to endorse someone?
So it's essentially two factors. Is there a policy champion in the race? And that means somebody that's not just a good vote on issues. That's somebody that's a leader, that's out in front, leading on issues, behind the scenes, working with their colleagues to arrive at a principled policy position, really bring those things to fruition. The second piece is, can we make an impact? And Dave, we've been growing our organization. We've got over 40 part-time folks that are out there knocking doors every day alongside of our activists. 6 full-time staff. Obviously, our deputy Crescent's been on the show, handles a lot of our communications work. Tyler Henry, who's our director of grassroots operations. Then we have Chase Long up in Morgantown, working out of that region. Ambrose Rucker, who is up in the Eastern Panhandle, and Ethan Lauhart, who is down here in the Kanawha Valley, working from here to Cabell and beyond. So we've grown an organization. We think that we can have an impact in most places. And really, when it comes to grassroots, we've kind of got the market cornered. There's not a lot of folks that are going door to door to talk about these issues, and we think that is our bread and butter because that is the best way to connect to constituents and really bring them into the fold on these issues.
I know you primarily study the backgrounds of these individuals and what they stand for and things of that nature. But does your organization ever get into other issues like social issues, or are you? How does that work?
No, we tend to stick to the economic issues,
right.
And here's why. There's already a lot of lead on target, no pun intended, with some of the social issues out there. There's a lot of organizations that work on those, but when it comes to things like cutting taxes, making sure that every child has access to the education that's right for them, through educational freedom, there's not as much work being done. And so we want to apply our comparative advantage to make sure those issues are covered, they're brought to the forefront. And I think, frankly, not to toot our own horn, but over the last couple of years in this state, you've seen historic tax cuts. We had the best educational freedom bill in the country passed back in 2021. So we're cooking with gas. We're really trying to transform the state in a meaningful way because we want people to move here, be a part of this, and generally speaking, just have West Virginians be able to live their version of the American dream. Our goal is simple. Freedom plus opportunity equals prosperity, Dave.
All right. And again, I was going to ask you for your mission statement, but I think you just gave it right there. You did. Where can people learn more about your organization?
AmericansForProsperity.org.
All right, real simple. We'll have you back on again soon because I know you're going to roll out some more endorsements between now and the May primary. Jason, I appreciate you being here, buddy. Thanks a lot.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
It is 9:48. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you in part by Pinnacle Consultants, the only accredited commercial lab in the state for asbestos and mold. Asbestos was banned in some building products, but not banned for all products in the U.S. Do not expose your family or workers to asbestos, mold, or lead paint. Get with Pinnacle Consultants. They offer real estate and environmental assessments for hazardous materials and air quality. Visit pinnaclecorp.net because what you don't know can hurt you. Back after this on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Brought to you by the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses have been creating jobs in West Virginia since 1997.
Do you support Donald Trump? Dwayne Duncan, the America First Republican running for Kanawha County Commission, does. Dwayne Duncan is a conservative that will defend our values. Dwayne Duncan is 100% pro-life and a member of the NRA. Dwayne Duncan wants more jobs, safer communities, and a better future for our families. Dwayne Duncan is not a...
Having issues with your home like wet basements, water in your crawl space, bowing or leaning walls, or foundation cracks? You need Foster Construction, your foundation repair experts. Locally owned and operated, Foster Construction offers free inspections and estimates and has a licensed professional engineer on staff. Their services include basement and crawl space waterproofing, foundation repair, and retaining walls. Call 304-776-6263 and get started today. Online at fosterconstructionwv.com. Foster Construction. They'll fix it right the first time. Keep tabs on the legislators elected to represent you during the 2024 legislative session. Tune in to Hoppy Kercheval and Talk Line, live twice a week from the Rotunda. Our state capitol correspondent, Brad McElhaney, will bring you blow-by-blow coverage straight from the heart of the action. And keep up with our twice-daily Capitol reports, breaking news, and daily reactions on the morning news. Comprehensive coverage of the legislative session on your voice of West Virginia and its capital city. 580 WCHS.
It is 9 minutes away from 10. Bigly, Piggly, Wiggly Hotline 304-345-5858. Ruth Pharmacy text 304-935-5008. West Virginia Enriched in collaboration with Huntington invites you to witness the transformative power of Special Olympics. Take a few moments to be inspired and to join the collective effort in making a difference. Not just a story, it's a movement of hope, inclusivity, and triumph, reminding us all that every individual deserves a chance to shine. And West Virginia Beyond, Huntington is truly making a difference right here at home. See a video highlighting the Special Olympics at facebook.com/580 WCHS. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Hudson's Pizza. It is heart-shaped pizza time again this month, all month long, not just till Valentine's Valentine's Day. They're extending this throughout the month. 14-inch small heart-shaped pepperoni pizza, only $14.99, all for good. Again, for the entire month. Find your nearest location at Hudson'sPizza.com. Text says the group, Americans for Prosperity, did not contact the other candidates in District 57. All right. Well, Mr. Huffman or Mr. Gallagher that frequently come on the show, I will ask them about that next time, or if they're listening, they can text me back, and we'll see why. Text says, heard the answer to the question, but still don't poll others before endorsement. I heard from Tristan on this days ago, so he already knew it. Well, I didn't say it was groundbreaking. I'm sure that these people were already informed that Jason Huffman was going to go on the air, and they've already done press releases about it. So I wasn't trying to break any news here. I was just trying to introduce the information to some listeners that may not have known about it. Texas Americans for Prosperity accepting out-of-state money to finance candidates who want to expand government into our private lives, says a texter. Phone calls to the show, a service of Biggly Piggly Wiggly. When shopping at your Biggly Piggly Wiggly, be sure to join their loyalty program. You can save big at the gas pumps and throughout the store with their electronic coupons and free gifts on Fridays just for stopping by from farm to table. Biggly Piggly Wiggly, the best kept secret in Charleston. Texting service provided by Fruth Pharmacy. Check out Fruth for the perfect over-the-counter hearing aid with Nuvomed hearing aids. Plus, Fruth makes it easier to transfer your prescription services to them. Fruth is your hometown family pharmacy. Hoppy Kercheval back in Morgantown for Talkline today. Top of the show, Senator Joe Manchin on the border deal, plus this newest controversy, as if we need another one, about the age and mental and physical capabilities of President Biden. That's what Mr. Senator Manchin is going to be talking about, one of the things today. And he's also going to update Hoppy on his future plans. Also on the show today, West Virginia Secretary of State and gubernatorial candidate Mac Warner is scheduled to be on the show today, plus Steam Release. Chris Steyerwalt will be on the show today as well. Hoppy at 10:06. With Talkline. Now, a little programming note from me. This Monday, we're going to do something a little bit different on the show. We do different very well, I think, on the show, and try to mix it up a little bit. A bunch of mayors from all around the state of West Virginia are going to be in Charleston for a conference. And I've been in contact with my buddy Travis Blosser with the West Virginia Municipal League. On Monday's show, we're going to have Mayor Monday on steroids. We're going to have several mayors from all around the state of West Virginia, some in this area and some not from this area, are going to stop by the studio on Monday. And we're just going to talk about things going on in their town, but also we're going to talk about some of the things we can learn. You know, what's going on in Martinsburg that we could apply here in Charleston or South Charleston or St. Albans or whatever the case may be. It's going to be an interesting show, I think. Again, mayors from all around the state of West Virginia are going to be in studio with me. Thank goodness we have a big studio coming up on Monday. Looking forward to that. All right. Let me see. A couple news notes here, and then we'll close it out and do have some text to get to as well. Looks like the public hearing on the fate of the Postal Distribution Center at Southridge is back on. It was announced a couple days ago. I just haven't had a chance to get to it. It is going to be held on Valentine's Day. This Wednesday evening, 6:30 at the Coliseum and Convention Center, and we'll have more information about the format and things of that nature coming out next week. But again, that public hearing about the possible closure of the Postal Service Distribution Center out at Southridge, the public hearing is back on. It will be Valentine's Day at 6:30 at the Coliseum and Convention Center. And again, we'll have some more details on that coming up hopefully next week. Text says, so West Virginia needs a lot of infrastructure repair and building. This requires tax money and governmental spending. How do Republicans plan to pay for this as they cut taxes? Are they going to rely on federal government money as they cut taxes and spend to fix and upgrade infrastructure? Texas, that being said, how about that awesome cognitive little presser last night by our fearless commander-in-chief, God help us, ? Says a texter. Text says, I thought Fridays were supposed to be politics free. Well, yeah. As you know, I've been doing the show. This May will be 4 years I've been doing the show, and I'm constantly changing and tweaking it. I can't leave well enough alone. So I decided to just kind of put Friday Funhouse on a bit of a hiatus because it is the political season, and I'm hearing from all of these candidates that want to come on the show, and I'm more than happy to have candidates on the show. Actually, I will talk to two candidates just before I went on the air today that were texting me about getting their slot on the show. So after we get through the election, we we may look at it again. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you in part by your hometown baseball team, the Charleston Dirty Birds. Single game tickets for the Birds go on sale in about 3 minutes, 10 a.m. this morning. Visit dirtybirdsbaseball.com for the social media pages of the Dirty Birds for more information. Kanawha County Commission met last night. Commissioners provided the public with an update on the proposed Capitol Sports Center. Commissioners have approved $5 million to be moved into an account. There are buy-ins from the city of Charleston as well. Commissioner Ben Salango said that they have secured the old Macy's building and they will start tearing it down, probably weather permitting and things of that nature, probably sometime around the 1st of April. You're going to see that demolition project of the old Macy's building adjacent to the town center. And that'll take, they say, about 4 to 6 weeks. I actually talked with Commissioner Salango about it this morning, and we're working on his schedule to try to get him on the show to talk about it one day next week. Hour-long debate that got heated at times over a school bill in the House. David Beard of the Morgantown Dominion Post writes about it at WVMetroNews.com. It's HB 4851, and it allows a public or private school to hire armed security who are either former military or former law enforcement. And somehow that became racial. I don't have time to really get into it. The story's posted on the website, WVMetroNews.com. I'm not really quite sure how we morphed into a school security bill becoming a racist thing. And I'm not pointing fingers, blaming either side. I'm just saying it is what it is, to use the most over cliche statement in the world. Also, the women's rights bill was debated heavily in the House yesterday. Again, it's all posted. Brad's done a great job, and other media outlets have as well. You can find that if you want to get into it. Dear Dave, says a texter, no worries, Fridays weren't really that funny. Well, you're probably right. I said fun house. I didn't say it was funny. I just said fun. I'm trying to have a little fun. All right, and we'll close with this from the police blotter yesterday. A massage parlor coupe on McCorkle Avenue got busted yesterday. 5411 Charleston Inc. was the name of the place. Not a sponsor of the Dave Allen Show, by the way. They got busted for prostitution yesterday. So, all right. We got to go. Thanks to Jason Huffman from Americans for Prosperity for stopping by, and the folks from the West Virginia Grind and Hannah Gardner with our Adopt Me Please Pet of the Week from the Kanawha Charleston Humane Association. Enjoy the Taylor Swift Bowl coming up on Sunday. On Monday, mayors from all over the state of West Virginia will descend upon the studio here. Have yourself a great weekend, folks. See you then. Till then, have fun and love somebody.
580 WCHS AM, 96.5 FM Charleston, and 104.5 Cross Lanes, a WVRC media station. We're proud to live here too.